I'm Desmon here with Exlusive Sports. We're here at the Soho Grand Hotel where NBA Hall of Famer Dennis Rodman and Paddy Power have made an announcement about his invitational coming up in North Korea. The Hall of Famer had some interesting things to say about his plans in North Korea and how they could impact the here.
So anyway, thank you guys for coming. It's amazing the fact that I'm actually here. As far as I've been in New York, the last time I had something like a turnout like this was when I had my wedding dress. That was awesome. But guess what? This is a very historical moment, and I just wish that all other people in the government and our country will understand the fact that this is not something that's going to interfere with our lives or anyone's lives in the world. This is about trying to brand and breach a gap to a country that people have said is so bad. This country is not bad because the marshal now, he wants to change. And I'm there, he wants to change. And the one thing, and what we hear and what we see in America, is once most people are here, don't see that over there. You write what you hear, but you don't see what you write. If you meet the marshal over there, he's a very good guy. And that's very serious. He has to do his job, but he's a very good guy. And the one thing, he gave me the rights and everything about doing one thing. He said, Dennis, I want you to go over to America and say, guess what? We want people to come over here because we're not a bad country.
Thanks, Dennis. Could you tell us a little bit about what you discussed, your plans, and reveal a little bit about this basketball match that you've organised?
Well, it was more like a dream, you know. And I talked to Dr. Paddy Power here. Dr. Paddy Power here. And it's funny that, you know, people think this is a gimmick. I would love to make this a gimmick and make a shitload of money. I would love to make a shitload of money, but it's not about the money. It's about doing one thing, try to open Obama's and everyone's mind, and guess what? You don't have to talk about politics. Talk about anything in the world. Meet him in Switzerland, meet him in London, meet him in Ireland, just meet him or even give him a call. That's all he wants. For me to go over there and do one thing, to make this happen, it says a lot. For him to like me, it says a lot. For him to open his heart and his mind to give me his daughter for the first time in history, I hold his kid. Really? Guess what? But we got Obama doing one thing right now. I'm sorry, Obama, you're gonna read this and do one thing and do this crap. Guess what? Now Syria, really? I'm being honest. Guess what? And this guy just want to do one thing. Just have a conversation with you. That's it. So why, Obama, are you afraid to talk to Dennis Rodman? You're not afraid to talk to Beyonce and Jay-Z. Why not me? Why not me? I'm pretty important now, right? Let's go there, Obama. Talk to me. I'm right here. Do one thing. I got the inside track of what you want to do. This is 1953. This is 2013. There's a new era.
Thank you, Dennis. Now, I think it would be helpful if you reveal details of the Paddy Power Dennis Rodman Invitational, the match.
Paddy Power came to me a long time ago, and I came with a suggestion that we should do a basketball game in North Korea. Why North Korea? It opened doors. It opened doors. You know, I could have said Switzerland, I could have said London, I could have said Ireland, and stuff like that. That's where they based out of Ireland. And the one thing, you know, this is not about a online gaming thing. It's more online, try to open gaps around the world. Around the world. Because we're not just doing it in North Korea, we're doing it in Switzerland, we're doing it in Ireland, we're doing it in London. We're doing all these games around the world that people need help at. So that's what we're doing right now. Paddy Power is doing one thing. They're actually putting up $3 to $5 million for this game. And one, don't trip out. Don't trip out. Don't you? No, it's all good. But I'm saying, but it's amazing that the marshal of the country gave me anything I wanted. He said, "You want our stadium? We'll give it to you. We got 150,000 kids who do anything for you on the field. We got 95,000 people being in the stadium watching this game. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people, and that's Guinness Book of World Record right there. Really, this is not the Olympics. This is groundbreaking things, and Paddy Power is the main source of doing this. They gave me an opportunity to do one thing. Guess what? I would love to be Kobe. I love to be LeBron. All those guys be younger again. But guess what though? At 52 years old, I think that, I'm doing a pretty damn good job. Thank you.
Yeah, Dennis, you are the one we're just helping you in your dream.
A letter of agreement for the purpose of developing basketball in DPR Korea. Ministry of Sports of the DPR Korea and Mr. Dennis Rodman, former NBA player, agree as follows on the 7th of December 2013. The Ministry of Sports of the DPR Korea invites Mr. Dennis Rodman and his colleagues to return to DPR Korea to organise a basketball tournament including the best players from DPRK and a team of 12 former NBA players to be held in January 2014. The games planned for January 8 and 10 with the players staying in Pyongyang for roughly 1 week. The Ministry of Sports of DPR Korea will cover lodgings and meals for Mr. Dennis Rodman and his colleagues, including the former NBA players, for the duration of their stay in DPR Korea, while Mr. Rodman will be responsible for all costs involved in the transportation to and from DPR Korea. Mr. Rodman and his colleagues further agreed to visit Pyongyang for 1 week in mid-December 2013 to select and train players for the DPR Korea contingent to the tournament. For this visit as well, the Ministry of Sports of DPR Korea will cover the cost of lodgings and meals, while Mr. Rodman and his colleagues will provide their own transportation to DPR Korea. During the visit in January 2014, both sides will discuss plans for a future event of similar nature involving DPR Korea and former NBA players to be held in Europe, which is planned for later in 2014. And that's signed by the Minister of Sports, and it's signed by the man to my left, Dennis Rodman.
Thanks, Paddy. That's very exciting.
Can you just give us an insight of, how it was over there? What exactly did you see? How the interactions you saw with him with the North Korean people?
Well, I mean, I've been to North Korea 6 times in the past, and after I met Dennis, he asked me if I could help him get back to Korea without involving the media guys from us. So that was basically how I got involved in this.
I'll tell you what, in weightlifting,
he's amazing when he talks to you because he's honest. And they don't trust anybody. And there's a reason for that. There's reasons we don't trust them, there's reasons they don't trust us. And a guy like Dennis, who I don't think he lies, he comes across as sincere and honest. All the time he says the right things. They trust him because of that. And that's why he's such a powerful person to send. He's a powerful ambassador for us because he's honest. Diplomats are notoriously dishonest, right? They're bullshit artists. That's their job.
He talked about bridging a gap, and it's something that has been a very big issue in this country. A lot of people are not for it, but there are people like Dennis who have been very adamant about, listen, we need to bridge a gap, we need to get involved with these people. How do you feel about it being him, of all people? It's a unique situation that it's Dennis Rodman, of all the star athletes, of the entertainers, to come about with this.
Well, I like basketball a lot. Marshall Kim is a Bulls fan from the old days, But Dennis has just that personality that can do this because he's straightforward and honest. I mean, there's a lot of people doing civil society interactions with them. I mean, I was there teaching for the summer for a month, teaching genetics at the university. All these interactions are positive. I don't understand the negative side of it. I mean, you have to, the purpose of diplomacy is to prevent war by dealing with people, right? We should have a big embassy. We should have embassies in Pyongyang, Tehran, and Havana. We don't really need a big embassy in Ottawa, right? They're our friends. What do we have to argue with them? The purpose is to prevent wars, right? You get people to talk. You don't really want to shoot people that you like. And anybody who would go to North Korea will notice that the people there, the average person, they're really sweet, innocent, kind. I mean, even though I'm American, they're friendly and nice to me. And it's something you can't ignore. It has nothing to do with the government. It has nothing to do with the leadership. It's people interacting with people. And if anyone can explain to me how that's a bad thing, I'd like to know. They can argue. They say, well, he's bringing buying toys for the elites. But I'll tell you what, I was there teaching this summer, and the students there all stayed up and watched the game. They all talked about the game. They told me that soccer was always the favorite sport for the students on campus, but they have a basketball court there, and now everybody's competing for time on the basketball court because it impacted them and it had an influence. They've read his biography. Our guide over there said that they have a translation of Bad As I Want to Be. She said that she read that and she was so impressed with him because he was so frank and honest about things that no Korean could imagine you talk about it. These are the reasons why he's the guy to do this, and not, more conventional mainstream people.
And I thank you for your time, sir. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.